Good morning. Very good morning to you. Lovely to see some familiar faces. I hope you're all very, very well. And your 2026 has got off to a great start. And this is the first webinar I'm actually co-hosting with Cara. I think previous to now it's been Cara and Jenny. So you have myself and Cara this morning. It's really, really good to be here this morning. Cara, are we all good to go? You can hear me, see the screen?
Hey, you see the screen, everyone's been admitted,
Fabulous.
all good.
Fabulous, fabulous. So as always, we'll be doing a little bit of theory at the beginning and then working through to practical where Cara will be sharing her screen. Please, if you can keep yourselves on mute, we've got the little chat icon on the bottom of Zoom. So if you do have any questions, please do ask. If you're thinking it, I'm sure somebody else will be as well. We'll cover as much as we can in this session. We always have lots and lots to go through. Yeah, let's get started. So ultimately say this is masterclass number 3 of our series in 2026, and it's all about leading your team with confidence today and growing your business with clarity. So today is about removing the fear around numbers and replacing it with confidence for you and your team. And what does that actually mean? It will mean that you'll feel in control of the numbers within your business, and your team will actually feel in control as well. You'll be leading your team with the clarity and no pressure. Quite often when our team are feeling under pressure and when we're feeling under pressure, everything becomes a little bit of a muddle and it's not clear, and then we find it a lot harder to make those smaller milestones, those bigger goals. Use the data to motivate and not intimidate. There's a whole array of reporting and dashboards within SalonIQ, as you already know, and it can feel very, very overwhelming. So make sure they're there to motivate and incentivize your team and encourage your team instead of doing the complete opposite. And then we have the ability to unlock new revenue without actually putting in more hours. So let's get started. So a real story and something that came up from a salon is I never know if I'm doing well until the end of the month. Have you heard that from your team? They don't actually know how they're doing until it's almost too late. And there's many things that you can have within the system that can keep your team engaged with how they're doing each day, each week, each month, without you having to have one-to-ones with them, without you nudging them and reminding them all the time. Does it sound familiar? Has anyone ever said to you, I don't actually know how I'm doing. How do I actually know if I'm getting anywhere, if I'm going in the right direction, if I've got any gaps? And when teams don't see progress, motivation drops, clarity builds confidence, as we've said previously, and then your confidence will drive the performance that you're so desperately needing to get to this year. It's so important that you perform, that your team perform where you need your business to get to. Okay, so does your team know what good looks like? Or are they guessing? Just to have a think about that. If you want to comment in the chat, please do. I asked one of your team members right now, I said to them, right, so what does good look like in your salon? Would they be able to answer confidently, and would they be able to give, a pretty accurate answer? Would they all know what good looks like for you right now in your salon? Even just for this week. Do they know what good looks like this week? Okay, the 2026 team mindset. We need teams that have clear expectations. They need to have regular feedback. They like that feedback. They need that feedback. They need that nurturing. They need to know if they're doing right. They need to know where they're perhaps got more areas to improve and grow. They need visible and transparent goals. And that recognition is so important. Recognition and reward, not pressure. It makes such a difference. Even if they haven't quite got to where you need them to be, if they haven't done those 3 or 4 upsells that you wanted, maybe they only did one, recognize them for that one. Have that conversation with them. How did you get to that one upsell? What did you do differently? Help them recognize their own ways of getting where you need them to be. And it's switching from managing people, micromanaging people, to actually coaching their performance, coaching them as a leader into where you need them to be and where you need them to perform. Only 28% of employees strongly agree they know what's expected of them at work. So again, if you asked every single one of your team members right now, what does good look like for them this week? Would they be able to answer with clarity and be clear on what's expected of them this week? The 5 numbers every salon owner should know. And again, this can vary. These aren't set in stone. It's not if if you're not doing these 5 numbers, then everything's going to go wrong. But these are 5 key KPIs that will move your salon and show some results for you. So your team utilization, how utilized are your team today? Are they 50% utilized, 60% utilized? Are they fully booked, 100% utilized? How utilized are they today? How utilized are they this week? What's their average bill right now? So what's your average bill in your salon? And what's your average bill for your team members? What's your rebooking rate? Hopefully your rebooking rate November, December was the highest it's ever been to ensure you've got a really busy, successful January and February this year. But what is your rebooking rate right now? If it's a high rebooking rate, you're protecting your business for the future and you're going to have appointments booked in. If you're sitting at a 20, 30% rebooking rate, you're going to be chasing yourself, having to do lots of marketing campaigns to get bums on seats and get people into your beauty rooms. Your retail percentage. What's your retail percentage like at the moment? Do you know that? And your client frequency. So how often are your clients coming into the salon? I'll always go back to it when I have these webinars and talk about client frequency. Pre-2020, we were sitting at around 11, 12 weeks for hair salons, 4 to 6 weeks for beauty salons for those more express services. We're still sitting at 14 to 15 weeks. So clients coming in every 14 to 15 weeks to have their hair done, a lot less for beauty salons and spas. What's your client frequency? And where do you need it to be? If you're needing to increase your revenue in your salon, quite often we think we need new clients. 100% we need new clients, but we also need to be getting our clients, our loyal, regular clients coming in more often. So what are we doing there to help that? And you don't need to think about all of the numbers. It's too much. It's too overwhelming. But what are your quick wins? What can you focus on that's going to help you see that shift and that change quickly? So these are 5 KPIs that we strongly recommend you know in your business and you know where you need them to be. And do your team know what's expected of them with their rebooking rate? Where does their rebooking rate need to be and why? Educate your team on why they need to be knowing these numbers. It's their column. Their column is their business within your salon. So turning these key KPIs into motivation. Clear targets having per team member. Make sure they know and understand the targets and the KPIs. Have weekly check-ins with them. Cara, I think it's already on the list, but the team member messages, just in case it's not. So having these weekly check-ins is really important. Again, there are tools within the product, within SalonIQ that you can use to check in with your team on a regular basis without you having to do it all the time, because you can't do everything. Celebrate the small wins. No matter how small it is, please celebrate the small wins. It was something that I learned a few years ago with my team here in SalonIQ, that I wasn't recognizing them for the smaller wins. I'm like, Sam, all you're doing is congratulating me or recognize me for these really big things. That takes 6 months to get to. Recognize me for these smaller little tasks, these milestones that I'm making, and it's made a huge difference. And progress tracking, not pressure. It's so important to look at the progress, how they're performing, progress the tracking. And it's not why didn't you hit it? It's what can we do to tweak it this week? How can I help you? Have you got all the right tools you need? How further can I support you, educate you to get you to where you want to be ultimately? And teams with clear goals and regular feedback are up to 3 times more engaged at work. They're more likely to engage with you to help further, to share their ideas with you within team meetings as well. So make sure you're getting that regular feedback from your team. It's crucial. Financial clarity builds better decisions. So when you're seeing these revenue trends, when you're seeing your services increase, when you're seeing the rebooking rates increase, the quieter weeks are coming, or you can see your top performers, or you can see opportunities for growth within the columns. You then stop reacting and you start planning. You're planning ahead. Look for these patterns, look for what's happening. And then you can predict, looking at the dashboard, you can see the revenue projection for your services and your retail. You're projecting what's happening. You can see ahead next week. If you all look ahead at your columns next week, you can plan ahead of what's going on. Okay, so let's look at my utilization percentage. I know my rebooking percentage has been this over the last 8 to 10 weeks. Then you're planning ahead and you're not just constantly in that reactive mode and making those knee-jerk reactions. So innovation equals smarter revenue, not longer days. It's so important that we don't try and, have that longer days, 10, 12, 14-hour days. We already have those days, right? We have some days, we started the new year, everything's going to be planned, everything's going to be prepped. I'm not going to put in these really, really long hours. And then slowly the weeks creep in into the new year and you start, have your marketing hat on again and you're accountants and then you're a hairdresser or you're a therapist in the beauty room. It's really important to work a lot smarter. So growth doesn't always mean more hours, more team members, more stress. It often means better systems, being more organized, having more plans in place, smoother payment solutions there for your client experience, for your accountants, for your cashing up. Make your life easier. Use the tools you've got to make your life easier. We have got a webinar coming up. I think it's next week. We'll touch on that in a minute for more tools. And then it's less friction for your clients as well. Your team and you can focus on giving your clients that ultimate experience that you want to give. All of this business file and portfolio that we need to be having, we have to do to run a business, but ultimately it's about our clients, to ensure that they're coming back to us, to ensure that they're having a fantastic time and they choose you time and time again to be looked after. IQ Pay has an awful lot of benefits. I don't want you to look at IQ Pay. I want you to look at everything that's attached to it. Deposits that protect your business, speedier payouts, easier cashing up. We had a couple of, I think it was Abby actually, that was on a call on Wednesday or Thursday last week. And she was on that call for an hour and 40 minutes helping a salon owner with her cashing up because there was £110 variance in the day. And they had to get to the bottom of why there was that variance. They didn't have integrated payments. So eventually they got to it, but it took her over an hour to find out. If you have tools in place to make your cashing up easier, then do it. It just saves you that time and stress. Zero payment admin subscriptions and memberships. What are you doing at the moment for your loyalty programs? How are you rewarding your clients to come back to you? Do you have subscriptions and memberships in place? If you do, how are they performing? If you don't, think, actually, that's a really good idea. I like that, but I don't know how to do it. Where do I start? What are other salons doing? What's been successful? What's not been successful? Reach out to us and we can help you. But it's a great way to ensure you've got clients coming back. I think we had somebody that has a subscription for toilet roll. You can have a subscription for anything these days. Why aren't you offering memberships and subscriptions for your clients in your salon or spa? Tip Smart. So just something we wanted to share with you. So the cashless tipping solution that puts your team first. We had record-breaking results for all of those that are currently using Tip Smart with SalonIQ. And what that is it's ensuring your team members are getting rewarded for their work. We've become a cashless society. I don't have any cash in my purse, and I haven't done for months and months. I'm sure you don't have that much cash either. How are you rewarding your team? One great way that you can do that is by your clients wanting to give them a tip. It's that gift from your client to your team and say, thanks so much for looking after me. And with Tip Smart, you don't have to get involved with the administration. You don't have to get involved with the taxes and the wages. If you'd like more information on how it works, reach out to us. We're here to help you. We're all about making your life easier and rewarding your team at the same time. What we have seen from this is fantastic team loyalty. We have some team members that are staying with the salons offering Tip Smart because the salon down the road doesn't do it and they won't get any tips anymore. It helps them pay for the cash, for the car park, for the parking, for the weekend out, for the lunches. Makes a big difference. Right. I'm going to pause just there. I may well come in a little bit more as we go through. Cara, if you wanted to share your screen, we're going to go a little bit into practical, into how you can use what I've just said within the product to make everything easier for you.
Okay, so let me just move everyone here. Okay, so we're going to start off with the dashboard. If you don't know how to go to the dashboard, we click on the menu button on the left-hand side.
Can't see because it's big, Cara.
Oh, can you not see?
I can't. I don't know if anyone else can, but I can't see it. Sorry, lovely.
Can anyone go in the chat and see if they can see it?
Yeah, got it now, Cara. All good, all good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I get all nervous now because every time I'm sharing my screen for
It's
some reason
me.
it's
It's
yeah,
me
the
keeping you on your toes.
last couple of weeks. Apparently we're getting a fun going for my laptop.
Mm.
So
Thank God.
to see we go to menu, we go to dashboard, and then we go to team. So I'm going to start off with the team dashboard. And if you've got multiple salons, what you'll see is on the left-hand side, you've got a list of all of your different salons. Then you've got a list of your team members. You can filter it by category as well. And the first thing you'll see is the services and retail. And the reason we filter it this way is because these are the two most important things that people tend to look at every single day. So this will show you the services that you've done so far, and then it'll also show you your income projection. And this is brilliant to look at each individual team member and go, right, what is Sarah bringing in this week? You can change the date range. So at the very top, you've got weekly, you've got 4 weekly, you've got monthly. I would say the majority, like 70% of our salons, Sam, are using it on a weekly view.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I just feel if you're looking at it on a 4 weekly view, you think, oh, I've not got really much to panic about. I'll get more in next week and the week after and the week after.
You
We're
need
on
to
a
focus
week,
on what's happening now, don't you, Cara? Really?
I think
That
so. Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So I personally would look at as a weekly view. When you hover over, as I say, the income projection is a great one for you to look at. Now, what you'll see is on my screen, you'll see that some of my team members have got a green arrow going upwards, and then you've got some that have got an arrow going down. And the green arrow going up means that they have hit their target, and the one going down means that they haven't hit their target. So to look into this a little bit further, I'm just going to click on the three dots in the top right-hand side, and you can add and remove whatever it is that you want to focus on that particular week or that particular month. So if I want to look at my client retention as an example, I want to look at my care factor. And I can go through here and go rebookings, and you'll see now on my screen that all of those columns are coming on the dashboard. Now, my favorite one is I'm going to add the stars and flags. And when you start adding all of these things onto the dashboard, it will take a second to load up because it's recalculating those figures. So the stars and flags are what the team members' targets are set for. So as an example, if we look at Stacey and we hover over her flags, the two things that she needs to work on this week are her retail and her care factor, because those flags are telling you that they are not hitting their targets. When they do hit their targets, which is what we call KPIs, they will then get a star. So we can see that she's hit her services. We're on a little sad face because we're only hitting one of the targets that we've got. But as the week goes on, you'll find the beginning of the week, you'll have a lot of flags because at the beginning of the week, you've not processed anything through the system. And by the end of the week, you should have less flags and more stars. It's just a great overview rather than running lots of different reports to get this information. So as an example here, we can see that the client retention on Sarah, when I hover over that, it's telling me the total clients that they've got is 16. The lost clients is 3. So Sarah's retention is on 81%. Anything that's underlined in SalonIQ means that you can click on it and there's more information inside of there. So I can now see these are the 3 clients that Sarah has lost. Okay. Doesn't mean that they're not going to come back in. It just means that my system is set for 12-week return, and these 3 clients haven't returned within 12 weeks. And what usually happens when you're looking at these, you're like, oh, Chrissy, that's very unusual. She usually comes into the salon. You can click on send SMS and you can actually send her a text straight from here, which is brilliant. If you want more information on the team member, then I can click on Sarah and then it'll load up onto her dashboard. And we can see here, it's just a bit more of a breakdown. We can see the total clients that she's had, who are new, requests, which just means that I've asked Sarah to do my hair or my beauty. How many of those were new requests, non-requests, which are just floaters, anyone who is just happy to be booked with anyone. You've got your average bill, your care factor, and the rebooking. And then if I scroll down on her dashboard, it then breaks down all of the services that Sarah has done. So we can see how many cutting units we're doing, how many colour units that we're doing, and what is the value of that that's coming in on Sarah's profile. I mean, this is great. You know, we're working at the moment, we're working on upselling treatments, and Sarah's only done two. But looking at the client count, she's had 27 clients come through the door this week. And this is where you can look and see what help do you need? Why are you not offering treatments to every client that's coming through? So
And
it's a great
there'll be a
breakdown.
number of reasons usually, wouldn't there, Cara? It could be,
Yeah.
I haven't got enough time. I don't know how to approach it. My client said they didn't want it last time.
hmm Nervousness, a lot of it is nervous. It's the same, I guess, upselling a service is exactly the same as upselling a retail. I think sometimes a lot of the team members, they don't know how to first approach it.
Mm.
But it's also a good way you can see, okay, Sarah's, below on treatments, but she's up on colours. But you might find that Sam has done loads of treatments this week. And it could just be, Sam, what are you doing? What are you doing that's different to what Sarah's doing? And
Mm.
let's pass on that knowledge.
Well, what we have done that has worked in the past, sorry, Cara, is
Okay.
we've got team members to buddy up with each other in the salon
hmm
because we've got our own salon as well. So if somebody's really excelling at something and then someone else is really struggling, we get them to buddy with them for a bit
Yeah.
of time, and then they help each other, and it's more like teamwork. They don't feel isolated.
Yeah.
So
And
that
you're
really,
never 100%, are you, Sam? You're never
no,
100% good at everything.
no.
Um, I am, but you're never 100% good at everything. So you always need to lean on somebody. And even within Salon IQ, we all do that, with each other, with the team. So it breaks down the products as well. So you can see the products that they've been selling and what brand of those products have been sold. And then if you scroll down further, this is the bit that people tend to miss. We are a very visual industry and we like to see graphs and pictures. And in here, this is where you're going to be able to see the graph. So we've got retail, total clients, new clients, requests. There's lots that you can have a look in here. And then this gives you the dates at the very bottom. And if you'd rather prefer it to see it on a bar graph, then you can see it as a bar graph as well. So the dashboard is something that I would say you definitely need to use every single day, even if it's just at a glance, just want to quickly look at those stars and flags. Who needs help this week? What is my income projection for the team as a whole? And just remembering these three dots in the top right-hand side, there is lots of different details and information that you can get from there. Okay, so the next one for the dashboard, again, going back to the menu button, we go to dashboard and then I'm going to click on salon. If you've got multi-salons, then you will see a list of all of your salons in here. If you've got managers that only look after one salon, then they would only see that one salon. And the same applies. You can set yourself KPIs for the salon. I'm more than sure someone wrote on our Facebook this week, they did, on how to target the manager who doesn't do any services, but how to target the manager and give them a bonus and an incentive. If you're on this webinar, it'd be great if you could have a little comment. But I did see a lot of our salons commenting on that as well. And this is a great way to do it. If you want to, reward your reception, your front of house, your management team, this is how to do it. You set your KPIs up for the salon. It works exactly the same way, but the only difference on this one is you can see the takings as a whole. So the takings as a whole will include all your gift card sales, all your deposits. It's basically every bit of cash and card payment type that you're processing through SalonIQ. Again, you will still get to see your services so far, your income projection, your retail. And so there's lots of information again on here. And if you want to know more about that salon, we click on the salon, we scroll down to the bottom, Same applies. We can see how many total clients you've got, how many are new, and your internet bookings as well, so your online booking. Scrolling down, it's breaking down all of the service descriptions in here, so we can see, you know, our top salon is cutting, and then it's colours, but you can also see that we've got some beauty services in there as well. So in terms of the dashboard, there are extras that you can do and have your own KPIs. So at the moment, if I click on these three dots, can you all see where it says I'm looking at colours, I'm looking at treatments, and I'm looking at hairstyling? You all have access to change this. And how to do that, we go to the menu button, we go to settings, and then we go to global settings. In here, you can set your own 3 KPIs. So see here, I've got KPI 1 is my colour, KPI 2 is the hair treatments, and KPI 3, I can click on here and say, actually, I really want to work on my beauty massages. Click on save. I'm going to show you what happens when you do that. Now that I've added that on to my KPIs, you're then able to target the team member on those individual KPIs. So to set up team member and KPIs, they are the same. I'm going to show you how to do that. We click on the menu button, we go to settings, and then we go to team members. This will give you a list of all of your team members. I'm going to choose Sarah because that was the person I've been working on. I'm going to open Sarah, and then on the left-hand side, I've got this bit that says KPIs. If I scroll down, this is where you're adding your extra one on. So I can do my colours and I can do my treatments. On the left-hand side is the team members' stretch target. That is the one that we know if you hit that, the salon's a winner, we're going to make, you know, a really good profit, and the team member is going to hit her commission. So I'm just going to make these figures up, but let's say as an example, Cara needs to bring in £1,500 a week, and that's going to be her target. When she gets to that, she's going to start hitting commission. But we also have a minimum target, and the minimum target is, you know, Cara needs to bring in at least £1,000 per week for me to be able to, you know, pay the wages, you know, pay for the electricity, everything all included. So my minimum target is 1,000, and then my maximum is 1,500. Exactly the same for retail. So I want Cara to be bringing in 250, but the minimum retail is 100. And then following on, the same with care factor, rebooking. If anyone doesn't know what care factor is retail items that have been sold to a client who's just had a service. It's an absolute brilliant one to use, especially if you've got a lot of footfall in people just walking in and buying retail. That's not really classed as the, you know, the team member upselling and selling those retail items. So I could say out of 10 clients, I want you to sell to 3 of those, and that'll be 30%. And pop them in there. So once you've done all of your targets, I'm just going to pop in some different ones in here. Click on save, and then that will activate it on the team members mini dashboard. If you allow the team member to see SalonIQ from their phone, even if it's read access only, they are able to see their KPIs from their mobile phone. Or they can just go onto SalonIQ in the salon, left click on their name. So I'm left clicking on Stacey. I'm going to go on to show my dashboard. And here we are. And it's like a traffic light system, all right? So anything in red, so that's our minimum target down here. So we can see client count, we've gone over by 1, so it's 21. On retail, we're still under, so the bar on the retail is still in red. The one on client count is amber because we're in between the minimum target and the stretch target. And the one that we've hit is service. So my minimum was 400 and my services was 15. And you can see here that I've gone way over target. Yeah. And that will include anything that is already booked in for this week. So you'll see so far, I get this question, why is that saying 1500, but the services say 1700? The 1700 is the income projection for Stacey for what she's going to be bringing in this week. On the left-hand side, again, you can see the KPI stars just in the top left. Now, what I love about this, teams are competitive, we're competitive. And what you'll find is when you do start doing the KPIs, your team members will start talking to each other and they'll say, I've got 4 stars. How many stars have you got? And they'll go, oh, I've got 5. And it comes like a really healthy competition between the team members. If you do any reviews, you'll see your reviews on here. They'll also see the holidays that they've taken in book, sick days. I think it's really important that they get to see this because sometimes people don't realise how long they've been off sick within a 12-month period. And if they're looking there and there's 25 days sick, it makes them wonder like how often they're actually calling in sick to the salon. And then how many holidays they've got left. Instead of pestering you, how many holidays they've got left, you can tell them to go and check their dashboard because all the information is on there for them to see. So that's how to do your KPIs for the team member. I'm just going to show you how to do the KPIs for the salon. So again, we go to settings on here, and this time we're going to go to salons. It works exactly the same way. All we're doing is we're going to KPIs on the left-hand side, and you're just popping in your targets in there. Okay. And then just to follow on from the actual dashboard and the KPIs and targets, I'm going to show you how you can send an email or a text message to your team member once a week with an update on their figures that they've done for that week. So to set these up, we go to the menu button, we go to intelligent marketing, and then we go to automation. In here, you'll see the one down here that says team messages. The majority of people who use this send them by text just purely because the team members don't look at their emails. But if you do have a very proactive team that you can get them to check their emails, you can do it that way as well. So there's a couple of different ones you can do. You've got an end of day stylist. I'm going to click on here, and that is the trigger is the team notifications, and you can pop in here the messages that you need. And then you can do the end of period as well. So you can do the end of period, which is what you've got set in SalonIQ. So if you're on 4 weekly or a weekly, you can go in here on the drop down box and you can put it on weekly or daily or every 4 weeks. So that's how you can set up your team member triggers for your stats. If you want to do it by email, if you want to just go in the drop down box on the right hand side, change it to email, and then you can send them from here. Just please be aware, if you are doing it, you need to make sure that you've got the team member's email and phone number in their team member settings. So just going back to the team member settings, open up the team member and just make sure on this front page that you've got the phone number and you've got the email as well. You will need to tick this where it says end of day, week, month text message. You will need to click them on as a toggle. So as long as you've got the phone number, the email, those toggled on, that's what will then hit it to send those notifications to the team member. Okay. That's it with the dashboard, Sam. Is there any questions on that before I move on to something else?
All good, Cara. No, nothing's come through.
Okay, perfect. So the next one I want to show you, because I've never actually showed this. I don't think so. I might be lying, but I don't think I've ever shown how tips work in SalonIQ and how it works through the terminal and how it works through cashing up as well. So I've got my terminal here. Don't know if you can see that. I've got my SalonIQ terminal. This is connected to my system. You'll see it's wireless, so I can walk around with it. You can also do the card payments and Apple Pay and all of that. You can do that on here. So I'm going to just check out a payment just so you can see the difference between when you're connected to SalonIQ and not. So I'm going to check one of my clients out. And I've also set Karen up to take tips. So we go to the checkout screen as normal. I'm going to click on card. I'm going to press enter. And notice I'm not changing anything here in terms of a tip. I'm going to click on complete. If you've got a very large salon, you can have more than one terminal. So you can have a couple of different ones, which is what we've got set up here. I'm going to select my terminal. And then that feeds it over onto my, now I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but on my screen now, it's asking me, would I like to tip the team member? I've got 5%, I've got 10%, and I've got 20%, which can all be set to how you want it to be. Or you've got custom. I can click on 10% on there. That will just add the extra onto my bill. Okay. And then that payment will come through on the terminal. The clients can tap as normal. And then that payment gets processed on SalonIQ. Now, the difference with this is when I just processed that and I just gave a tip to Karen, the tip is automatically transferred over to Karen. So she will instantly get that £18.80 in her own bank account. So it's not got anything to do with the salon. It's not going into your account. It's going straight over to Karen's account. Karen will also get a notification on her phone. So it pops up to say, you have just received a tip of £18.80 or whatever it was. So it's instant. It's taking you away from having those tips getting paid into your account. You're then having to work the tips out and then you're having to transfer that tip to somebody else. It's just the clients that have been using it have been saying like they just can't believe like how high the tips have gone, because some clients are actually doing it on card but they're overpaying. So the clients say, well, add an extra £5 on, but then that messes up your cashing up because it looks like you took more card but you've been taking cash out the drawer. That happens often. Yeah, so this just makes your end of day so much easier.
Cara, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Cara, just one question that we've looked at this, and a lot of our team have turned around and said, by with it going straight into their accounts, they would be paying tax on that. Have you come
Yes.
up against that problem at all?
Oh, not well. I get asked the question, but not the problem, because the team members are liable to pay for their tax, basically.
Just like they are with cash.
Just like they are with cash. It's exactly the same. It's a bonus for you as an owner because you're not the one who sat there, paying the tax on that.
No, I realise that. It was just that we've had the problem with soul care and everything else. Where
Yeah.
at the present moment, what we do on our terminal, we have a tip department, so we tip that, but we then
Mm.
have to go around and find the cash to give
Yeah.
the cash back, which
Yeah.
shows on the paperwork.
Mhm.
So legally, we're fine to do that. But as we would all agree, the amount of cash coming into our business now isn't like it used to be. So we find it quite difficult to find that amount of cash some weeks.
Yeah, and how do you ask the client to tip? Because obviously it's not showing on the terminal. Are you waiting for the client to say, "Oh, can you just top
It
that up
does.
by
It does.
£5?"
There is a part. It can come up on the terminal where it's their option. So you give them the terminal, and they have an option to put in.
Mm,
Or
mm.
we find most of ours will turn around and say, "Can I leave gratuity on the card machine?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Majority of them say that.
Hmm.
Um, but no, I just wanted to see how you guys, if you've come up against that with your team. That was all.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and what you do find they do get nervous, but it's exactly the same as what they're doing with cash. Yeah. I mean, if there's anybody in the chat who's using tips as well on IQ, it'd be great to hear from you. But we do find that the people who are using it are getting more tips because it's just automatic on the term.
We've actually got Abby who's commented. I find it works very well. The team are getting more tips, and the team have a separate account to put 20% tax aside.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Great best
Yeah.
practice.
Mm-hmm.
Really good
Because
idea.
you could have the tips going into your bank account, but just have a savings account, so it's the same one, and then just move that percentage at the end of the week into a different account. That's a very, very good idea.
Yeah, and if your team do have any questions around that tax element on the tips, we have added guides and links to HMRC, so we can really guide the team members as well on what they need to do, how they need to do it, why they need to do it, when they need to do it.
Yeah, I'm just going to show you where to find them, Sam, actually. So on the team member
Please,
on the team member
important.
settings here, we've got this button on the left-hand side that says tips. We've popped all of this in here. So
Amazing.
it's all of there so they can see all of that information.
Here we go, Cara. Got a few more here. Art Care. Hi, we have it, and the team have loved it. They love that they get it straight away. Harry, really well. Staff are getting a lot more tips and are happy. Wendy, our team are loving the tips, and they've all been in touch with HMRC to set up their online assessments. I guess for the team, it can be quite daunting if they don't know what they're doing or what, but that's what we've got this guidance here. So yeah, it's the unknown, I guess, which can put them off, but they should be doing it anyway, even with cash.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's as you say, it's no one's getting cash anymore because I never carry cash around with me.
Yeah.
In terms of
feedback.
I'm just going to talk about a few other, because everyone's talking about tips now. I'm just going to talk about some other few frequently asked things that I get asked about tips. What if there's two people on the bill? Always get asked that question. So I process the bill and it's Karen and Stacey. You can do it where it automatically splits the tip. So what would happen is, let's just say that Karen and Stacey are on one bill. The total bill was £100. Okay. However, Karen did £60 of the service and Stacey did £40 of the service. It will evenly split. So Karen will get more. She'll get 60% of the tip and Stacey will get 40% of the tip. So it works all of that out for you evenly. So it's all on the till. It's all, you click one payment and then it just splits it. And that doesn't matter whether there's 2 people on the bill or 10 people on the bill. It's still going to split that tip. We also have an option for an apprentice, which is one of my clients I spoke to yesterday. She's got lots of apprentices who are not on the bill, but they're always saying, oh, I'd love to just can you give Cara £2? Okay. 2 options to do. Sometimes the team members give it to them. And sometimes we have built it in SalonIQ where you can add Cara at the till screen and you can make her show on the terminal. And then on the terminal, it'll say, would you like to tip Cara? So we do also have that option as well.
Sorry to interrupt again. Just a quick question. On your terminal, is that is that your own terminal?
It's a Stripe
SalonIQ?
It's SalonIQ, but we run it through Stripe. So
right,
obviously we're not a bank, so we
no,
use
that's
Stripe.
fine. I just didn't know if we could use an existing, so we'd have to come onto your system to do that.
That's
it will
right.
be that's
okay.
right. It will be our system.
I'll be quiet now.
No, it's all right.
Good.
This is what the webinars are about. We trying to talk about things that we've not spoke about before, that clients don't even know that we do this, so we do send out marketing campaigns and stuff, but you guys are always busy and they get missed. So no, I'm absolutely happy that you've asked those questions. In terms of doing IQ Pay, it's not just about tips, it's also about cashing up, so that when I go to my end of day, I'm clicking on end of day, there is no way that someone's pressed cash or card by mistake. Because it's all integrated with SalonIQ, every single card payment is going to be correct. So we do get a lot of people who are checking out and they press card and they go, oh, they pay by cash and I don't know, but I'll fix it later. And that's where the issues arise, because they forget to fix it later, or that team member goes home and they don't know why they're up or down in certain places. Okay. The other great thing is if you do an online deposits already, so you're already doing that through Stripe and SalonIQ, all of your payments are getting paid at the same time. So currently you might be getting paid by a different bank for your terminal. Then you've got your online through Stripe.
Another.
And then I do have somebody else using a completely different tip system. So 3 different banks, a different tip system where you scan the QR code and then the client pays that way. This is basically getting all your bills into one place, and then we will be your provider for all of those things. So it's great. So what also comes with IQ Pay? What also comes with IQ Pay is something called subscriptions. Now, me and Jenny spoke about this in our last webinar, and I understand it was too fast. We had loads to go through and we ran over. So I'm going to start and show you how these subscriptions work. So to set up a subscription, we go to the menu button, we go to settings, online, and then IQ Pay, and you can see subscriptions in here. So your subscriptions is something that the clients will be paying monthly. So they will pay every month, and then with that subscription, they will get something for being in that subscription. There's 2 different ways to do it, and I've set up 2 so you can see how they both work. Oh, terrible spelling there from me this morning. I know it. So in here, I've just set up a beauty subscription. You can see that you can activate them online. You've got an individual link for it as well, which is brilliant. So if you set up a subscription and you want to do a marketing campaign, you can add this link in and say, this is the new subscriptions that we're doing, and they can create their subscription from there. So the type I've chose is deposit. And what this means is the client will pay a £50 deposit automatically every single month. I've set it up for monthly, and it's a 12-month program. Okay. Now, what do we get with that? What happens is that £50, when the client pays, it sits on their account as a deposit for them to use towards their services. Okay. But what's the benefit of being in the subscription? Yes, I'm paying £50, but what am I getting to, be in this subscription? And I do have them online, if you can see this. So you can see my beauty subscription. How I've set it is it's £50 each month. This can be used towards your services, and you will get 20% off all facials, 10% off all waxing, and 10% off retail. And you can do whatever you want on these subscriptions. This is just an example that I popped in this morning. If you wanted to just be on one service, then you can add it as just one service. The second option, which I'm going to show you, so that was my beauty one, I've done a hair one as well, is a membership. So the membership, how that works is the client pays £100 or whatever a month, but the £100 does not sit on their record card. It goes directly into your Stripe account, and the client cannot use it towards their services. But what you might do with this one is, I'm just going to go back onto my online, is they pay a monthly payment of £100. They get unlimited blow dries, terms and conditions apply, because we all know it's capped in the background. And they also get 10% off any retail, and they get a goodie bag when they sign up worth £50. We've got people doing, you also get priority booking, and you'll get invited to our events that we do for free. So you can add and amend whatever you want to on here. Now, how does it work? So I'm paying the £100 a month. I've got a service just called Blow Dry Subscription. How does it work when the client's booking that appointment, and how does it discount it down? On the left-hand side, we'll see that I've added a promotion called Blow Dry Subscription. I've also added an item called Retail Subscription, and they're just normal promotion codes in SalonIQ. So when the client signs up to this subscription, those 2 promotions are automatically added to their record card, and it will automatically discount their service down to 100%. Now I know what question's going to be. How do I cap it? So I'm going to show you the promotion. I'm going to go to settings and then I'm going to go to promotions. And we've added something new inside of SalonIQ. I created the promotion. I've made it 100% because my offer is unlimited blow dries. But then on the left-hand side, there's a button that says services. When I click on here, I'm going to go on to blow dry. And you will see in here that I've added a blow dry. And this column here is capped at 6. And this column here is frequency every 4 weeks. So what that means is my blow dries, I can have 6 every 4 weeks. So you can actually cap how many services they are getting for these subscriptions. They will get an email when they sign up, which can be designed by yourself, and we will help you do that. So it'll invite them to the subscription, give them all the information that they're going to need. And it will also send them a failed payment email as well. So we'll keep trying. I think it's 4 days. And we'll keep trying. If the payment fails for 4 days, it will then send you an email and the client an email to let them know that their subscription has failed. And then we do also have an auto rollover option. So although this subscription is 12 months, it will roll over after the 12 months. They have 7 days to let you know if they want to change their subscription. And then finally, to come with that, can you sell subscriptions in the salon? Yes, you can. All you will need to do is go onto the client's record card, open up their record, and then on the left-hand side, there will be a toggle that says subscriptions if you've got that set up, and you can sell them in the salon. So we've got subscriptions here. I can click on add subscription. You can see the 2 subscriptions that the client can choose from. So you can even get your team members upselling them. Then you would just add the client's card to make those payments every month. That's saved on their record, and then payments start going through. Any questions?
We're looking good, Cara. All good?
All good?
Yeah.
I think for once I'm on time.
Yeah. Right. Pause on holding your pressing that finger on that end button. Do not do it just yet. Now, we have coming up next week a webinar that you do not want to miss. Wednesday the 28th at 10 a.m. And this is on focusing on the AI receptionist. And it's one of the biggest operational opportunities for your salon this year. We'll show you how AI is booking in appointments into your diary live. We'll show you live stats of 14 salons who used the AI receptionist over their busiest time of year, over Christmas. We'll hear from salons themselves, salon owners, next Wednesday, who are actually using this right now. So Jenny will share the link with you over the next couple of days. Just let it, tweak your interest. Just listen and hear what's happening with AI. I've been on a 6-week intense course during November, December, all about AI, what we need to be looking at, why we need to be using it within our businesses. And it's pretty amazing. There's lots going on about it, isn't there, right now? How do we use it? What do we do? How do we implement it? What's the best way of doing it? What should we do first? So many questions around it. So it's one we've spent a lot of time putting in the material into next Wednesday's webinar. So please join us at 10 o'clock. I think that's a wrap. Anything else, Cara, Jenny? Anything we've missed off?
No, all good. Looking forward to
I
next
just
week.
say really enjoyed that. We're sitting here listening to it, and I'm not available next Wednesday, but my partner will be. But thank you very much.
Make sure your partner's on it. If our aim is just for you to take one thing away from each webinar we do. So that's good to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone. Speak to you soon.
Thank you. See you
Take
next
care.
week. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.